Um, what do men want when it comes to their relationships? I know that's a really broad question,
Right.
but it gives you a lot of leeway. So tell me
Yes.
what you want.
So, Claudia, it's one. Some of the foundations is really to feel heard, understood, not judged, just supported. It's not much. We don't require much. Just those basic foundational things, and then we can go into other areas. But to be understood, to feel heard. I mean, these are what my clients are telling me when when I do a lot of marriage counseling as well. So when I'm meeting with the couples, and I'm kind of hearing what everybody wants, with the men, this is what they're asking for.
You want to be heard. I feel like as a woman, when I hear some of the things that are on the list, I'm like, y'all want, okay, y'all want a porn star, a chef, a gourmet chef at that. Y'all want someone that's a damn near Miss Fitness, gorgeous, hair perfect. Like visually, there's a lot of pressure there. Then you
Right.
want to like make you feel like a king, no matter what. Like I feel like y'all want a lot more than just to be heard, my friends.
Okay, like I said, we can go in deeper, but these are some of the foundational. Those are superficial things. We're talking about foundational things. That's
Superficial?
what's that?
Are men not superficial at times?
No, no. Those are, I mean, on the surface. Those are on the surface things. I'm talking about deep. Talking about deep things, deep things, and we could talk about, if those are expectations, right? So you have to navigate that, find in between. It
Okay.
may not be what they want all the time, but once in a while would be nice.
Okay. So why is it challenging for men to communicate their needs to women? I've definitely talked, I talk to my girls about this stuff all the time. And, I remember being in the middle of a guy and a girl, and he wouldn't tell her how he felt, but he told me everything. And
Right.
I'm like, why won't you tell her? Well, I don't, is it fear? What is the issue with
Well,
communicating your actual needs?
one thing is for men is being able to articulate what
Mhm.
they need, and I feel like that's a skill that is sometimes we don't learn it. We don't know how to articulate how we feel. It's internal, and we don't usually express it. And then in your case, it might be a bit of fear. He felt more comfortable with you. So I'm wondering why he was able to share with you and not with that other young lady. So there we go about that fear and comfortability. But let me go back to in terms of a skill of learning emotions. First learning how to express yourself. I feel like that's very important. Teaching, because when I ask like my friend, yo, how you doing? I'm good. And well, a little bit further than I'm good. And when sometimes us as men, we don't really know how to really express how we feel or articulate how we feel. So
Why do,
that's why's that?
why do you think that is?
Well, if you think about in terms of, and I learned this early on in my training in terms of how boys and girls learn differently.
Mhm.
If you think about back in the day when kids were outside or something like that or in trouble, you'd be like, a girl would like go inside and go read a book, a parent would say. And for a boy, go outside and play. So one get a book and one gets a ball. So naturally, girls who already have a little bit more, not a little bit, much more ability to express themselves. Now, now they're enhanced with more vocabulary, right? The ability to articulate more, and then we know how to dribble a ball. But how does that help us in our relationships, right? And then we go to in terms of how we raise our boys in terms of emotions. Stop crying. So if you have a young boy, stop crying. What are you crying for? So now we're stopping their ability to express themselves.
I feel
You
bad when
know?
I see boys talk to you like that. Like I want
Yeah.
to be tough, but then it's also like, well, you are human, and
And you have emotions.
crying's not just for women. You
Right.
both have your ducks. You both
Right.
have.
Right. Right. And I think about that young boy when he becomes a man after he's been stopped from crying. So now what emotions do he have left? Right? Anger,
Mhm.
irritability, aggression. And you can't express those are the expressions, but those are not healthy expressions in a relationship.
We do. You're right. We do seem to stunt our young boys. They can't even like certain things that guys won't do that they think it makes them seem soft or it questions their masculinity. Like if I ask a guy, like, if he's asking to be hooked up with one of my friends, I'm, oh, how your friend look? Is he a good looking guy? Why I don't notice.
Right.
You
Right.
you know if
Right.
your friend is ugly or fine.
Right.
Because you're afraid. Like we just totally cut them off at the knees when it comes to expressing themselves or actually being honest about things because of this, the I don't know, we just put limitations on them really
Right.
expressing themselves for fear of
Right.
being judged, I
Fear,
guess.
fear of being judged. So that gives us this much leeway,
Mhm.
to express ourselves, to function as men, right? So we have like we just pigeonhole of room, right? So where does that leave us in terms of expression to navigate our way through life as partners, as fathers, and relationships? Like how do we do that with such small limitations? So that's some of the challenges that we face in terms of communication. So that's why mental health services or therapy is really, really important because in my practice, helping men get their voice. I mean, enhance their voice because they have a voice, but enhance it, getting skills in terms of ways to communicate better and more effectively in their relationships. And it's really, really helpful.
Okay, good stuff. Now, in a very well-mined article, they listed 10 things men want from their wives. Check this out. Okay, affection, belief in his capabilities,
Yes.
understanding, appreciation and affirmation,
Yes.
acceptance,
Yes.
less chatter,
Yes.
respect,
Yes.
free time, trust, and
Yes.
companionship.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that list?
That's a beautiful list, a beautiful list. And Claudia, aren't those reasonable things? That's not too far fetched. That's not much to ask for. Not asking for a big butt or anything like. Those are basic, common things. Those are,
That too.
huh?
No, don't act like y'all don't want.
I
Am
mean,
I
I know, of course, but it's a whole package. It's a whole package. But those things are basic, foundational things that make for a great relationship, Claudia.
okay? Now, number four is appreciation and affirmation. Do you think that many men feel underappreciated in their relationships?
I do because they may not hear it enough, and maybe their partner may be frustrated or just unaware. And sometimes when we're unaware, we don't realize that we are not giving our partner their accolades. I appreciate my wife. Even I ordered a laptop for her yesterday. She was like, "Thank you for ordering, the laptop for me." I really, and I'm like, all the time, I'm like, what are you thanking me for? Like, she was like, no, I need to acknowledge the work that you do. So I appreciate that my wife takes the time to acknowledge the little things that I do. It really does do something for you as a man, just to feel acknowledged and feel heard and feel important. Absolutely.
I definitely agree with that. I don't think I think things, no matter how small or big, shouldn't go unnoticed because it's an effort, and you could actually be with someone that does none of that stuff,
Right. Right.
right? So, what's your advice to men who want to learn how to communicate with the women in their lives? They want to do better. They know they suck at it. So, what would be your advice for them to
Um,
communicate?
so I feel like one thing is great that they acknowledge it because it's one thing to like first you have to identify that you need help with it. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need that. That is the common response. But first identifying that you do need the help, and then finding whether it be a homeboy, your homeboys, or you're working together, navigate in terms of like how can we work together to build more communication skills, or even contact a therapist or a life coach in terms of helping you kind of unpack where that emotional barrier is coming from, and then there's some great self-help books that kind of help you kind of delve into how you can help to build communication.
Are men going to therapy? Finally, we need y'all to.
Yes, yes, Claudia. I have men. I'm getting calls from men that really want to improve their mental well-being. I mean, through the power of social media, I've used my Instagram to kind of encourage Black men to go to therapy. And with my T-shirt line, Black Kings Need Therapy Too. So I really got a lot of traction with Black men, contacting me and wanting to get that help and that support.
I know the answer to this question, but do you think most Black men need therapy?
I th- I think they need to be in tune with their mental wellness. Now, if you go to therapy, that's awesome, but you can go to church, or you could go to the gym, or you can, do yoga, meditation, whatever it will help you be more in tune and with your emotional wellness. I feel like that's important. Therapy is great though, because you could kind of have that accountability. You have a trained professional kind of help you navigate through things and kind of understand why you do the things you do. So, but I'm not pushing it on everybody, but mental wellness is important.